I've made a series of videos about Manny Pacquiao taking steroids a couple weeks back, and the videos was received very. People were offended, you know, and people were angry, upset, and of course, while upon me making these videos about Manny Pacquiao, I was accused of being a lot of things. I'm recently rehashing this because somebody else put it back on my mind. My man Johnny Boy, and I seen one of his responses to one of my videos, and I'm a fan of the guy. I like him, and I like his channel. I think he's sharp tongued, and he makes me laugh. So, and he speaks the truth, and he speaks his mind, and he's unapologetic about it, and that's very much up my alley. I don't care who knows you. I don't care how popular you are. I don't care if you don't have a shitload of subscribers or something like that. If you speak from the heart and you speak what you feel and you kicking the truth, more than likely I'm going to end up on your page, because that's what is lacking out here. And no, I don't have to agree with everything that you say. I just got to know that you going for yours and you believe what you're saying. And for the most part, you're keeping it real, and you're being honest. I thrive off of those things. It's one of the things I live off of. And I made a video about Manny Pacquiao called Manny Pacquiao is taking steroids, the juice and the truth. Actually, I made two other videos right after that. But what people got to understand is something about me is I always speak my mind, and I'm very truthful, and I don't have any ulterior motives when I make something. I call things how I see it for the most part. And I show no favoritism really towards anybody. Just like I tell people, on this channel, your favorite boxer can get it. So watch out and don't be too sensitive about it. And, well, basically, people didn't like it. They didn't like what I was saying about Manny Pacquiao, and I think people really miss why I made that video. It has a hidden subliminal meaning why I made that video and those videos. See, I made the connection a long time ago, and I was wondering something. It's one thing to be dealing with the LDBC crowd and, dealing with them and had them talking shit about you if you don't go along with this, if you don't go along with that. And like I always tell people, I reserve the right to like whatever fighter that I like. You can't put me in a box. You can't make me like this person because if we share the same skin color. You can't make me like this person because we share the same flag, we live in the same country or something like that. That's not going to make me like anybody. I'm going to like you because I like you. I'll either respect your skill set or what I see you doing in boxing. I don't care what corner of the earth you are from. That's me. And I made those videos because I noticed that whenever I speak, criticize, or have anything remotely critical to say about Manny Pacquiao fans always bring up Floyd to me. Always. And I'm like, man, how come every time I say something about Manny Pacquiao, they bring up Floyd? I'm not even talking about Floyd. I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao. But yet their rebuttal is, if I say something about Manny Pacquiao, their rebuttal is, well, Floyd did this. Well, Floyd did that. Well, Floyd did this. I'm like, well, I'm not talking about Floyd. And this mirrors something else. I was like, where else have I seen this before? I've also noticed when I say something about Lomachenko, and keep in mind, I rarely say anything bad about Lomachenko. And if you can't criticize a boxer or say that you can't like something about the boxer, then I don't know what to tell people out here in the world. But I rarely say anything bad about Lomachenko. And I remember I was talking about Lomachenko, and I must have gave him about 6 or 7 compliments in a row. And I ended it with, yeah, he's good, man. My only thing about Lomachenko is he just don't got no power. Oh, man, here you are. You're a racist. You're one of those Floyd Mayweather fanboys. And I'm like, once again, Why do y'all bring up Floyd? Every time I speak on Manny Pacquiao, they bring up Floyd. Anytime I speak on Lomachenko, they bring up Floyd. I'm like, man, what the hell is it? What is the connection? What's going on here? Like, what is the damn connection? How come every time I speak about these guys and I say something that they don't like about them, they got to throw Floyd in my face? What the fuck is that about? Then it dawned on me. And then I sat back in my chair. I was like, I don't know why I was tripping. I don't know how I couldn't see it before. Of course, it's race. Of course it is. You know what I'm saying? It all boils down to the same thing. Race at the end of the day. And you know I'm going to call it out because I ain't got no filter on this channel. And I'm going to call it like I see it. I'm like, damn, so as long as I'm talking about A, B, and C over here, it's cool. And as long as I'm talking about them over here, it's cool. But as soon as I start dipping over into the Manny Pacquiao, Lomachenko, or anything other than the minorities between black and brown, I get called a racist, a LDBC soldier, and all kind of shit. And everybody know my channel. I'm anything but that. It's like, what the fuck is that about? So you guys know me. I'm all about balance, 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 balance. I got a knack for that. If I see imbalance, I feel I got to counterbalance it in some kind of way. You know, it's my way of equaling out the world or some shit. I don't know. But that's how I like to do it. So I'm like, okay. I think somebody needs to shed light on this. I think somebody need to talk about it, but I wasn't going to talk about it and present it in the way people were going to present it. I was simply going to say exactly what I said about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, steroids, the juice, and the truth. You know, and I gave them my truth, but I never give you just my perspective. I always provide evidence to give grounds and to give rights for me to say the things that I'm saying. And I can show you how what I'm saying is true. I can give you evidence. I can give you a paper trail. I can give you empirical proof. I can give you documentation of why I say what I say. I just don't say it. Everybody knows this about my channel. I'm not just going to talk. I'm going to prove it. That's why I like my channel. And that's always been a motto over here where I'm from. It's called, show and prove. Show and prove. To us, that's the ultimate. Show and prove. You can say it and you can show it. Show and prove. You know, so I showed it and, you know, people didn't receive it well. But the reason why I did it is because I'm saying these same people who love to crap on everybody else and in particularly Mayweather, since they want to bring him up all the time, I'm noticing how they can point every flaw, every problem, everything Mayweather didn't do, who he didn't fight, what he didn't do, all the way down to the T. But they can't put that same lens over their fighters when it comes to Manny Pacquiao and Lomachenko. And instantly I'm like, no, man, that ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't cool. So that's why I put Manny Pacquiao out there like that. And the crazy thing is what people missed is how I said I am a Lomachenko fan and how I am a Manny Pacquiao fan. I literally say this in the videos. I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan. I'm a Lomachenko fan. They totally skip over that and go straight into, I got a problem with Manny Pacquiao because of this, and that, and I'm a Floyd Mayweather fanboy. All that crap. And if you know me, like I said before, never let me know something bothers you, because I'm going to keep twisting the knife now that I know that it bothers you. So those other two videos that I made about Manny Pacquiao was simply to throw salt in the wound. That's the same thing I do with the LDBC. You know what I'm saying? The second I know something bothers them, or the second I see them make a video on Anthony Joshua, I go ahead and drop a video on Deontay Wilder, and instantly all Deontay Wilder fanboys come to my page. So, man, you talking about Wilder again? Just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. And just like I told them, I said, I'm a one man. You guys have an entire community making videos about one man. So it's my one video to their 10 videos, and you're over here complaining to me. Well, that's the same thing I said about Manny Pacquiao. And the premise of my videos, which I think people were missing. Well, as a matter of fact, let me play this for you, and then I'm going to get back to that. So I'm going to digress for a minute and pause it, and I'm going to play something for you, and then I'm going to finish explaining what I'm talking about.
is it a case of where there's smoke, there's fire? I mean, with all these, like Manny Pacquiao, there's a perfect example. Manny Pacquiao he's gone through 8 different weight classes. Manny Pacquiao started off, what was he, 106 pounds? All the way up to, what was he fighting, when he fought Margarito. How big was Margarito? Margarito was like 168 in there. But in there, he was like 168. I mean, that's incredible to go from 106 to fighting a big guy like Margarito. A lot of people have accused him of stuff. Do you know anything?
I'm highly suspicious. I've said this publicly. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that when you're not subjected to testing, and I think it's been going on for a very long time, including, back in the Philippines. That's my opinion is yes. I believe that he's been doing stuff.
Now that was Victor Conte. You guys know his track record. You know what he was about. You know what he's an expert in, and that's in taking steroids. As a matter of fact, USADA hired him to help them make their tests more sufficient so they can catch people who are taking drugs. That's a fact. That's what he helped that company do. Now, why did I play you that? I didn't just play you that just to play you that for my health. I play you that to prove the premise of my video was simply this. I can produce more clips and evidence and audio recordings like that on Manny Pacquiao than I can on Floyd Mayweather. That is a fact. The premise of my video was there is more evidence that Manny Pacquiao has been taking steroids than Floyd Mayweather. See, as a Floyd Mayweather fan, I never said Floyd Mayweather never took steroids. That's the difference between me and Manny Pacquiao fans. They will not admit for anything that Pacquiao got even close to taking steroids. And here I'm supposed to be some Floyd Mayweather fanboy, some LDBC black supremacist that's supposedly trying to assassinate Manny Pacquiao's character. And yet, all this love I got for Floyd, and I can openly admit that Floyd has took performance-enhancing drugs, even though I don't even have a quarter of the evidence that I have against Manny Pacquiao. You can find more people who's willing to get in front of a camera, who's willing to sit down and do an interview that can be quoted in magazines that will say to your face and look you dead in the eye that Manny Pacquiao is on steroids than Floyd Mayweather. The premise of the video is it's an open secret that Manny Pacquiao has took steroids. The only thing that I was trying to point out by making those videos is how you got overwhelming evidence on Manny Pacquiao taking steroids, yet these same Manny Pacquiao fans and supporters are so quick to point at Floyd Mayweather and say, no, he's the drug cheat. He's the king of all steroids. You know what I'm saying? He's the juice queen. He's this, he's that, and all that shit. But with the only evidence that they have is a IV. I can pull up video after video. I could rattle off at least about 10 names right now that said Manny Pacquiao has took steroids, and these are prestigious names. From Max Kellerman to Freddie Roach to all the way down. Can you do that for Floyd Mayweather? And the answer is no. You want to know how I know? Because I tried. Because I tried. And you can't produce even a quarter of the evidence on Floyd that you can on Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is easy. You could find a boatload of people who's willing to come out here and say this. And even though you got all these people coming out here willing to say this, even though you got commercials of him joking about taking steroids, yet it's still, they're so quick to point their finger at Floyd. And I never said he didn't take steroids. They're sitting up here. Once again, they just go back to this IV thing. Once again, not the act of taking steroids, but the act of masking steroids. And this is the thing. Check my track record. I said, yeah, he probably is masking steroids. I wouldn't even doubt it. Yeah, that seems about right to me. So how come I'm the fanboy But I can admit that Floyd Mayweather has taken drugs, even though I don't have enough evidence to even say that. That's just my firm belief. But I got empirical proof, and I got paper trails, and I got people that has worked with him, from his coach, Freddie Roach, down to his strength and conditioning coach, all said the same thing about Manny Pacquiao. But everybody puts a halo around Pacquiao's head and put devil horns on Floyd Mayweather. That's what I noticed, and that's what I picked up on. And that's what my video was really about. The double standard. Not to say that Mayweather was innocent, not to say that he didn't do anything. I'm saying there's more evidence against Pacquiao. How many people can you find that'll go on camera and say that about Floyd Mayweather? You would be hard pressed, and you could probably only produce maybe one. And that's maybe one. That's a fact. Because I tell the truth, does that make me a fanboy? Does that make me somebody who's trying to assassinate this guy's character? No. I see the bias in it, and I know why it exists. Okay? And at the end of the day, you got to call it what it is. And take it straight up. No chaser. It's favoritism because of racism. Let me say that again. Favoritism because of racism. So, if you call yourself a real boxing fan, if you call yourself a man of standards, if you call yourself keeping it real, straight down the middle, how can you say Pacquiao is innocent and Floyd Mayweather is guilty with all the evidence compiling against Manny Pacquiao in boxing? Everybody says it's about Manny Pacquiao. You're not going to catch this about Floyd. And I would never in my life say that Floyd Mayweather has never touched a drug a day in his life. I wouldn't be crazy enough to say that. I'm not walking around in Floyd's back pocket. So when it came to my man Johnny Boy, that's the only thing that got me looking at you sideways. I'm like, dude, you too smart to say some shit like that. Why would you say that? You saying he never took steroids a day in his life? Are you insane? Really? And everybody knows my belief. All athletes are on performance enhancing drugs. All of them. And if you really follow me, you will also know how I feel about steroids. I don't think it's shit wrong with them. I think it should be legal. I've also said that, yet I still get those accusations. And like I said, I know where it comes from. Favoritism because of racism. Not that I'm accusing Johnny Boy of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I damn sure wouldn't fuck with nobody or subscribe to anybody that I thought was like that. I'm just talking about in a general statement. And I know this. So that's what those videos was about. So if you can say this about Floyd, don't you think it's only right that you say about Manny? But Manny is completely innocent. He's God's little angel. And Floyd Mayweather is guilty of everything. And the only thing that they regurgitate is an IV. That's fact. You can get mad at me, but that's fact. I'm just being honest, real, and straight up with you. When you come to my channel, I pride it on, this is the reputation that I want to have for myself. This is how I view myself. Even though I know Bruce Wayne may favor this boxer, if this boxer did something fucked up, I can count that I can go on his video and click on it. And even though he likes him, he will tell the truth about him. That's what my channel is about. That's what I pride myself on. That's what I want. That's the reputation that I want. Here is somebody who's able to tell the truth about somebody even though he likes them. Isn't that what we want from all these boxing outlets? Isn't it? Somebody be straight up with us and real. Yeah, I know that's your man, but be real. I'm being real with y'all. I'm throwing Floyd right up under the bus with Manny. The only thing I'm saying is, why is it so lopsided? How come you can't group these two together? How come every time I talk about Manny Pacquiao, y'all throw Floyd Mayweather in my face? And this is what people told me about the video. Well, it's only right if you make a video about Manny Pacquiao that you make one about Floyd. Like 30 people said that in a row. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao. And y'all keep wanting me to throw. So what is the connection with Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and Lomachenko? And that is favoritism because of racism. That's a fact. That's a truth. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care whose feathers it ruffles. I'm built off of ruffling people's feathers. That's what this channel is. You guys know this. And just now, even not too long ago, somebody left a message on my Deontay Wilder American Coward video calling me a coon, saying that I'm conning white people for views and all that. You see what I'm talking about? I talk about Wilder, coon. I talk about Lomachenko or Pacquiao, racist black supremacists. Back and forth with this shit. Back and forth all day, every day. That's the shit I don't like. That's why I create a haven, a little island that people like me who get tired of hearing that shit because they can't say shit about Pacquiao and Lomachenko, who get tired of that shit because they can't say shit about Earl Spence and Deontay Wilder and the rest of them. This is the place where those people come to have a haven and say, man, this is just my opinion. I don't give a fuck what color they are. This is how I honestly feel. That's what island this is. The island of the real and the unbiased. And I'm not above being wrong, but one thing, if you ever catch me being wrong, or if anybody ever checks me, or if anybody ever say anything about me that I haven't noticed about myself, I will self-analyze myself and say, hey man, are you being fair? Or do you got a dog in this fight? Or do you got ulterior motives? And I will come back and I will correct myself in a heartbeat. That's what I'm about. And I'm finna make a video on Lomachenko right after this. You think people are not going to try to accuse me of some shit? Simply because I have an opinion about Lomachenko? See, this is the thing. They want to take these fighters that are non-black. I told y'all I'm going to speak the truth. Y'all love to take these fighters that are non-black and hold them up so high and then hold all these other minorities fighters to impossible standards. It's the same thing with this whole, and I hate hearing this shit. I hate hearing it. I hate hearing it. Even if it is somewhat true, which I don't believe at all, but I'll give anybody the floor to prove whatever they want. Floyd never fought nobody in his prime. He never fought nobody in his prime. You know that is the biggest double standard that I've ever heard of. And this is because they want to bring up Floyd so much. You want to know why that's the biggest double standard that I ever heard? Who's one of the main people that they say that he didn't fight in their prime? Manny Pacquiao, am I right? Am I right? And who else? Miguel Cotto, am I right? Am I right? You want to know how I could prove that's the biggest double standard in some bullshit? Because Floyd Mayweather is older than both of them. See, this is the thing. When is Floyd Mayweather considered out of his prime? He's never been considered out of his prime, even to this day, and he's 41 right now. Right now, he's 41, and they still don't consider him out of his prime. But Miguel Cotto was out of his prime at 37, 38? And Floyd Mayweather is older than him? And Manny Pacquiao is considered out of his prime when Floyd fought him, but Floyd is older than him? And then when he fights somebody young, hence Canelo Alvarez, they were too green. He was too young at the time. He fought a baby. He should have let him develop. Then if he let him develop, oh, he fought him too old. But 9 times out of 10, all the fighters that they said that he fought out of their prime, Floyd Mayweather is older than. So how can you say that he fought somebody out of their prime when they were fighting him out of his prime? You mean to tell me he's so good, he's whooping ass like this out of his prime? So how come that just applies to them and not Floyd? Double standard. Don't act like I don't see it. Don't act like you can't comprehend it. You know what this is. So please, don't come to my channel talking that shit or that crap. I'm just trying to give y'all a greater understanding of how my brain works and how I want my platform to perform and what I expect from it and what I hope you get from it. I hope that I'm the person that you can turn to when you say, you know what? I don't know what to think on this situation because so many people are biased. Let me go over to Bruce's channel because I know he not going to bullshit me. That's what I want from my channel. Do you guys want to know my favorite video? Out of all the videos that I ever made, it's not trashing Deontay Wilder. It's not talking shit about Manny Pacquiao. It's not none of that. I really like bringing understanding to shit that people cannot reach a decision on. And one of the biggest thing was Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez 2. The first fight, I don't mind if people think that Triple G won. I'm going to lean a little bit towards Canelo, but I can also lean towards Triple G, and I have no problem with that. But that second fight was Canelo Alvarez. That's why I broke that fight down to the T. To me, that is my best work right there. And ironically, that is one of my most highest underviewed videos. And that's what let me know, see, people are just about the controversy. You know? They're just about the controversy. They're not about real boxing, because that was a real boxing video. And I really broke it down for you guys. And if you don't know who won that fight, go watch that video. And I swear to God, by the time you are done, you're going to know without a shadow of a doubt who was the actual winner of that fight. Go check it out. That's my favorite video. But anyways, I just want to explain that and break that down because, you know, my boy, Johnny Boy, he put it back on my mind. And also my other dude, Kurt DeVille from Counterpunch, he also responded to that video. And I left him a little comment, but I never responded to him formally or whatever. So I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and clear this up. So maybe we can get a clear understanding after this. Maybe not. Anyways, Bruce Vane, I'm out.